Hey everyone, and welcome to This Explainer. Today, we're diving into an audio clip that pretty much broke the internet, Arnold Schwarzenegger's iconic 50-minute masterclass speech on success. We're going to distill decades of unparalleled life experience into a really clear, structured roadmap for you. We are talking about someone who literally started with absolutely nothing and went on to dominate multiple global industries.
I mean, the sheer magnitude of this guy's credibility is just staggering. Think about it, a man who transitioned from a tiny rural village in Austria back in 1947 to becoming the governor of California, which, by the way, is the fifth largest economy in the entire world. He didn't just casually dabble in bodybuilding, Hollywood, business, and politics. He conquered them entirely, and that proves that his rules aren't just some fluffy motivational theory, right? They are battle-tested, and they work in absolutely any arena.
Okay, let's dive into this. Here's our roadmap for today. We're breaking down his 6 rules. First, the power of a clear vision. Second, always ignore the naysayers. Third, the hard work equation. Fourth, never have a plan B. Fifth, do not fear failure. And finally, always give back to society. Let's get right to it.
Rule number 1, the power of a clear vision. Know exactly where you're going. Growing up, Arnold realized super early on that a simple factory life in Austria just wasn't going to cut it for him. His parents wanted him to stay put, get married, live a quiet life, but he just couldn't see himself as a laborer. Instead, he constantly visualized the massive skyscrapers and the 6-lane highways of America. He knew he had to get there, but he needed a blueprint.
And this brilliantly illustrates why having a blueprint is so rare, yet absolutely crucial. Look at this. A staggering 74% of people completely dislike their jobs. They're just wandering aimlessly, showing up to pay the bills. Now contrast that with the incredibly small minority, only 26%, who actually work with passion and purpose because they know exactly where they're headed. So I have to challenge you right now. Are you wandering without a blueprint like that 74%? Because without a destination, you're inevitably just going to drift through life.
So Arnold found his blueprint in a magazine featuring Reg Park, a factory worker who became Mr. Universe and then a movie star. Instantly, Arnold's vision became crystal clear. He realized that when you have a vision, the pain of hard work literally turns into joy. It fueled him to smile, actually smile, through 500-pound bench presses while everyone else in the gym was groaning in agony. And later in his career, on the set of Conan the Barbarian, he was crawling over sharp rocks without clothes. His knees and elbows were bleeding, and the directors kept asking for dozens of grueling takes. His response? He felt absolutely no pain. He was so completely focused on visualizing the final perfect movie scene that the physical suffering became entirely worth it.
That brings us to rule number 2. Always ignore the naysayers. Turn the impossible into the possible. Now, shifting focus from his internal vision, we really have to look at the overwhelming external negativity Arnold faced when he actually attempted to break into these fields.
You've got to understand the sheer absurdity of his goals at the time. When he decided he wanted to transition into movies, Hollywood agents literally laughed right in his face. They told him his giant bodybuilder physique was completely out of style. They said his heavy German accent would terrify audiences, not charm them. And they joked that his last name, Schwarzenegger, was totally unpronounceable. Everyone told him it was utterly impossible. But instead of quitting, he used their rejection as high-octane fuel to take endless acting and accent classes. That mindset is perfectly captured by this profound realization. Everything is impossible until someone does it. Arnold decided right then and there he was going to be that someone. He took every single no and mentally translated it into a yes. And the result? Within 5 short years of being mocked by those very same studio executives, he became the highest paid actor in all of Hollywood. No way, right? But he did it. Which leads us straight into rule number 3, the hard work equation. Stop making excuses about time. Arnold brings this incredibly aggressive, challenging energy to this part of his speech. And frankly, it is exactly what we all need to hear. He absolutely hates it when people say they don't have 45 minutes a day to hit the gym, read a book, or just improve themselves.
24. Just let that sink in for a second. That is the number of hours we all have in a single day. And Arnold was relentless about maximizing his 24. When he first came to America, he didn't just train for 5 hours a day. He also went to college. He worked a grueling construction job laying bricks because he couldn't afford supplements. And on top of all that, he took acting classes from 8 p.m. to midnight. He never wasted a single minute of his day.
Let's actually walk through the exact math he uses to methodically destroy that "I have no time" excuse. Look, if you sleep 8 hours and you work your primary job for 8 hours, you still have 8 hours left. Let's say you commute and travel for 2 hours. You still have a massive, uninterrupted block of 6 hours left over every single day. So I'm speaking directly to you right now. What are you doing with your remaining 6 hours? Think about how much history you could learn, how much of a new business you could build, or how much of your deepest passion you could master if you just dedicated 1 focused hour a day out of those 6 consistently for an entire year. The compound effect of that time is just staggering.
But hey, it's not just about putting in the time, it's about the intensity of that time. Arnold shares this amazing micro story about witnessing Muhammad Ali in the gym. A reporter asked Ali how many sit-ups he does. Ali gave this legendary answer. He said, "I only start counting my sit-ups when it starts hurting." Boom. True hard work, the kind that yields extreme success with absolutely no magic pills or shortcuts, only begins at the threshold of pain. You have to push far past your comfort zone.
Next up is rule number 4. Never have a plan B. Eliminate the safety net. We just talked about external doubters, which are completely normal. But here we transition into the psychology of commitment, because internal self-doubt, that is absolutely lethal to your success. So the crucial point is this. When you only have a plan A, you operate with 100% focus and a productive pressure that forces you to perform. But the very moment you create a plan B, you instantly divide your energy and introduce self-doubt. You are essentially preparing yourself to fail. A safety net removes that desperate productive pressure needed to force yourself to succeed against the odds. You have to be willing to go all in.
Now, why do people create Plan Bs in the first place? Simply because they're terrified. And that brings us to rule number 5. Do not fear failure. Understand that failures are simply the stepping stones to greatness. The fear of failure paralyzes your decision-making and entirely prevents you from going all in on your plan A.
9,000. Let that massive number just sit there for a moment. Now, what's really interesting about this is that 9,000 is the exact number of shots Michael Jordan missed during his career in the NBA. Think about that for a second. Even the undisputed greatest basketball player of all time failed 9,000 times on the court. Extreme success is always built on a mountain of failures. You have to reframe failure not as a defeat, but as essential data.
And Arnold's own track record is filled with failures too. Honestly, it humanizes him completely. He lost bodybuilding shows, he lost powerlifting competitions, he starred in flop movies that got terrible reviews, and he faced brutal public defeats in politics. No one, not even the Terminator himself, wins 100% of the time.
So, failing is completely fine. It's a natural, unavoidable part of the process. But staying down, blaming your circumstances, blaming others, or repeating the exact same mistakes, that is entirely unacceptable. Losers stay down. Winners fail, they get up, they learn, and they fail again until they finally win.
And finally, we ease into rule number 6. Always give back to society, the ultimate measure of success. Here, Arnold shifts the tone from aggressive individual ambition to a profound sense of responsibility and contribution to others. Look, you can have the clearest vision, you can work 24 hours a day, and you can risk it all without a safety net. But Arnold makes it crystal clear. All of those incredible achievements will ultimately leave you feeling totally empty unless you use your position, your wealth, and your knowledge to help those in need. Genuine internal fulfillment only comes when you contribute to your community and lift others up along with you.
Well, we've covered a lot of ground in this explainer today, but it all comes down to the choice you make right now. You have 24 hours today, just like Arnold, just like Muhammad Ali, just like everyone else. Will you use those remaining 6 hours to build your vision, or will you just stay comfortable? The blueprint is right in front of you. Now it's time to get to work.